Three. Hello everybody, it's the new challengers once again hosting another class. I'm here with the dreaded challenger. What's up, Ivan?
Hello, Internet.
Hello internet indeed, and we're here tonight to talk about how to use the training room.
This is such an important class, everybody.
Now I know a lot of people just want to immediately jump into the game and choose characters and just start pressing them buttons. But my piece of advice to you from experience is you should do the tutorial mode first, play the arcade mode, but get in that training room. The bulk of your time, if you're trying to be a better player, is to get in that training room. But you definitely need to do tutorial and get in the arcade room so you can actually see the moves in action and see the computer work before you go into arcade mode. You have a better idea. We'll get more into that later. Alright, Ivan, I'm going to set up some controls. I'm going to give you control.
Alrighty.
But first I'm going to go through these menus real quick. You got a lot of different menus here. Street Fighter Cross Tekken's a bit different, so I'm just going to explain the things that are kind of universal, so that if you're playing Street Fighter, Skullgirls, Tekken, or whatever, they all have different things they bring to the table. But the main thing you're going to want when you play by yourself is you're probably going to want to have a full meter. Like if you have a super meter, you want to have a maxed out meter, and you're going to want to turn auto block on.
Very important.
But for right now, I'm just going to give my buddy here, Ivan, control. So I'm going to go ahead and do guest control. Now Ivan's in charge.
Rah. Alright, there I am. Look at me. I'm Armor King. Whee! Alright. So, now that I'm here, I can help out. So, as you can see, there's so many settings. There's so many ways that you can set up a dummy. You can set up a friend to help you train. If you don't have a friend, you can set up the computer. We'll get into how to do recordings. Make sure to do auto block so that, it'll show you what a real combo is as opposed to a fake block string or whatever. Make sure that things actually hit, that you're not fooling yourself. Jarvis, you want to talk about the data that it shows?
Yeah, let me pull up the data right now. Now, this is pretty universal to fighting games as well. For me, when I start a new fighting game, I turn the meter on to max. I turn the health to 100% and refill. I usually turn the stun to infinite because I don't want to be knocked out when I'm just trying to press buttons. And the data is very important. So let's go on in here. Now, what this is going to display is the amount of damage you're dealing, whether or not something is a combo, etc. Also, there's the input display. That shows you what, yeah, that shows you what buttons you're pressing.
So if you're ever wondering, why is this combo not working? Why is this dash not coming up? Why is this move not connecting? Like, do your thing, stop pressing buttons, look at the display, and say, oh, I'm not hitting this 360 because I'm not pressing up and punch at the same time. It's obviously that I am not pressing these buttons in the correct order or at the right time. So why don't you go ahead and show them an example of maybe like a link or a cancel, and then you can actually like look at what it looks like on the screen.
Okay, so specific to Street Fighter Cross Tekken, we've talked about links and cancels and whatnot. But let's talk about links and cancels and chains here. Because specific to Street Fighter Cross Tekken, you have what are called boost combos, which are a form of chain combos that you'll see in games like Marvel vs. Capcom, Darkstalkers, and of course, in this game. And they call it an ABC. Weak, medium, strong, or just like medium, strong. You can go to kicks. It's just a chain of moves you string together. Now, if you notice, if I go weak medium or weak medium, that it shows my damage up there. Now, if I go here, it's 42 damage. It's not too impressive, pretty low damage, not really capitalizing on anything. But if I try to do a combo, I can't do my Hadouken. Now I'm pressing Hadouken, but it's not coming out. Now this is the great thing about the data in this particular game, because now I can actually check my links. So I can actually go in and check it like, that was 90.
Boom,
So
boom.
it's doing 90 damage now. What is that all about? Because a second ago, I was only doing 72. And now I'm doing 90. That's crazy. Ah.
There it is.
Oh, no. There we go. It combos. Hooray. And I do 146 damage. I can do normal specials, etc.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to show that. Yeah.
So
if I boost into it, no, it's not. I mean, it won't come out. Anyway, go ahead.
All I gotta say about that is, specifically for Street Fighter Cross Tekken, turning on the data will help you see whether or not you're doing the correct kind of combo you want to do. Overall, it shows you your max combo damage, your max combo length, the damage the combo is dealing. It shows you how much buffering is going on your damage there. As you can see, 80% on the third hit.
Let's explain combo buffering just real quick so that you can see it, because the training mode is going to help you optimize your combos. After the first and second hit, each successive hit does less damage. So you're going to do a 1-2 combo. Just two hit. They're like low forward and a Hadouken.
Okay.
Okay, show me that.
Alright. Low forward Hadouken, that's it's pretty staple.
Boom. Now look at what the percentage says on that. It's still at 100. Now do a 3-hit combo. Some 3-hit combo.
Ah.
Boom. Now, if you can see, it should say 80, because that third hit, that Hadouken is only going to be at 80% of its damage, which I believe a Hadouken's 50 damage. So you got the jab, the medium punch, and the Hadouken is going to give you 80% of what the Hadouken gives you. It's important to see right there. So do some, switch to Marduk and do some ridiculous combo. So he's going to cross me up, he's going to boost, EX, slam me against the wall, punch me on the thing, and throw me across the stage. Now, what's the number up there?
It's 40%.
It's 40%. So that last damage did 40%. It's still pretty good, but, if there was no damage buffering in this game, people would be dead in a hurry. It's good to know, especially when you're building combos, because you want to know, okay, if I'm going to end my combo with the biggest, baddest move I have, and it's going to cost me 4 meters, but it's only going to do 10% damage. Do you really want to do that? So that's good to keep an eye on that percentage. It's important for building your combos.
Yes. Yeah. So when you're doing your training, you got your auto guard on to make sure you're doing real combos. You got your damage on to make sure you're optimizing your combos, and you're trying to end your combos strong. Now, there's 2 separate ways I like to end my combos. I like to end them at a frame advantage, or I like to end them on a hard knockdown. Now, as you all probably have heard, if you're following Street Fighter V, they're kind of taking a lot of the hard knockdown out of the game. So you want to end as strong as possible, but you want to end in an advantageous position. There's no point to sitting there practicing combo that leaves you at a disadvantage, or that would be unfeasible to do in a real match.
Yeah. So training mode is where you build your combos, and so watch this, man. This is one combo I learned while I was here, and let me see if I can do it. So you can see up there, look at Marduk's life. That combo right there, it had 1 meter of damage, did about 530 damage. And here is a much longer, much more swaggy, much more impressive looking combo that I also built. Okay, so look at that life bar.
Wow.
I used 2 meters, but I don't know if you could see, but over here on my screen, I ended like 23% damage, and it only did about less than 300. It wasn't that impressive. That's what we're talking about. I used 2 meters. I did, how many hits was that? Like 14 hits? It was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it wasn't optimized because I used all this meter to get as many hits in as possible. But by the time I was done with it, it had buffered so much. So obviously you want to get in your bigger hits at the beginning, and you have to see if it's going to be worth it to use the meter. For every character, it's going to be different. But that you bring that data up so you can actually check hey, what am I ending this combo at? Should I be? What are my options, and how do I get the most bang out of the buck with the meter that I have?
A huge thing I also see a lot of new players having trouble with is the fact that they don't know why the moves aren't coming out. Now,
Yes.
there's several reasons why this could be. Now, this is why I recommended you go into your menu and you turn your cross gauge up to infinite. One reason why your move's not coming out is because you don't have the meter to do it if you're trying to do a super combo or EX.
Yeah.
Another
Watch. I'm gonna
reason,
try to do a super combo. Oh, it didn't come out. Oh, look at that. I didn't have the meter. Go ahead.
another reason why it might not be coming out is you might not be pressing the buttons the way you think you are. So somebody might be trying to do Ryu's Hadouken and it's not coming out. Now, obviously, I'm, exaggerating a bit here with my button presses, but with the inputs on, I can look over to the left side of the screen and see that I'm pressing nonsense. Okay, down, down, forward, forward. Okay, so I'm just gonna roll it forward. Oh, there's my Hadouken. I can deal with that now.
Yeah. And it's especially true for 360 characters like Zangief. We didn't bring him up here, but if we had him in here, you'd see the forward, down, back, and then up, and then punch at the same time. A lot of people ask me, how do I get to do a 360 without?
Block it.
Oh wow. Let me block that. Okay. How do I do a 360 without jumping? Well, look at your input commands. Are you pressing the punch right as you're pressing up? If not, you are definitely not going to get a 360 out of it. And once you start, and then once you, that helps you address that issue.
Yeah.
So Marduk has some really hard sweep cancels that you can do. Watch this. See how he was able to cancel that. What he did was he swept, but then he canceled the sweep into his spear move, which he canceled by dashing.
So normally, if I just did the spear move normally, it would look like that. But if I do the cancel, what I'm doing is I'm holding down, pressing kick, heavy kick, to do that. Very unsafe. If I do that normally, Ivan would make me suffer for it.
Yeah,
But if I cancel it, I might be able to trick him. So I'm gonna go press down and heavy kick, half circle back, which is forward, down, down, back, back. It's a half circle back, kick, hold the kick, press forward, forward to dash forward. So it would look something like, it's not like that though, and he punches for it.
Yeah, what does the data say?
The data up there is showing that I'm not pressing it right. As you can see, I'm not pressing all the way, I'm not getting all my commands in there, I'm not holding the button down. What's going on? Man, it's not working. I'm pressing kick way too early. So, I'm going to practice not pressing kick. Maybe I'll press a different kick instead. I pressed weak kick because it was a separate button. I didn't have to double tap. And then I got the dash down.
So, that's one really good way, example of how using the training mode can show you what you're doing wrong. See, there you go. He just did the cancel and then he can set it up for a throw. So he did it wrong, he gets punched.
Punished. Man, I'm having a lot of trouble with this tonight. This is like my staple. What's going on?
There it is, and then he can come up and throw him. So anyway, if you've been looking at the data, he just did it right there. You can see where he's actually doing it right. So now he's doing it consistent.
What's going on right now?
Boom. See all of the inputs he has.
Yes, all of my awful inputs.
Sometimes what I'm trying to do is watch this. I go 1, 2. I go, I missed it. It won't really show you the timing of it, but sometimes what I do is I want to get this EX elbow, but sometimes what I'll get is this. When I want to do the EX elbow, I get the super. Well, it's because I'm pressing the wrong buttons. So So that's all examples of how you can use the data on the left to check your inputs, make sure you're doing it right, and rectify the situation.
Yeah, now it's only going to show a certain amount of inputs, so if you're pressing way too many buttons, then it might not help you that much. But it'll help you streamline your commands, because when you get right down to it, if you watch a lot of the pros play, they might P-Link, which that's pressing two separate buttons with like a 1/60th of a second between the two button presses to get multiple commands at once. That's really advanced, but you might see them P-Linking. But for the most part, they press exactly what they need to get what they need. Because the more extra buttons you press, the less likely you're actually going to get what you need.
Yeah, a lot of the times what most people will do, they'll just mash out commands, especially if they're flying through the air with Zangief. They are churning that stick like butter, like they're trying to make butter out of curds, waiting until they get down, hoping that by the time they get down, they'll have their 360 ready. That's really, not what you want to do. You want to get those distinct 4 cardinal commands for the 360. A decent player with Assault as a 360 grappler can have that thing out in a heartbeat. And they know because it's just as much as they need. They're not churning the butter. It's a precise movement. Another thing is, like, you'll notice a lot of times when we're doing boost combos, I just start jamming buttons. I really do. I really should be succinct, because if I want to change it, you see what I'm doing there is I'm trying to end this in an EX flash kick. Watch, I'm going to try to end this in an EX flash kick. What I'm doing is I'm mashing the buttons out, and it ends up with that. That's not what I want. So in the match, right? If King's about to die and I don't need to switch him in, that's not what I need to do. It's not working out for me. And now I'm looking at my command screen right now, and it's saying that I am pressing the kick way too late, like way too early. Yeah, see, and right now I'm just mashing. Well, it might look cool when you're like, yeah, I meant to do that. You're really meant to end it in an EX flash kick. So, like with King, if I'm going to try to do this kick combo, there we go. See, I just pressed 1, 2, 3, and then I did the command, and then I get it out. So the commands will make sure you're honest with your button presses. Use training mode to practice these kind of things. Practice your execution. Practice your DPs. You can practice your half circles, your quarter circles, your 360s, your DPs. Make sure they're quick and efficient. One thing, bring it in Ryu and show them the difference between a walk-up fireball and a walk-up Shoryuken.
Alright, so if I'm walking forward with Ryu, you're going to have a lot of trouble. Now, in a previous video, I said the easiest way to do a Dragon Punch, you're having trouble with it, is hold forward, quarter circle forward, and punch. To do a walk-up fireball, you actually have to walk forward, stop, and then do the command. Because if I try to press the command while I'm walking, I'm going to end up doing a Shoryuken every time.
Yeah, and that's not what you want.
Even if I delay just a little bit, the way that Capcom games are made is they're very lenient in the later games. So I got to actually stop what I'm doing. And wow, are you seeing this?
There you go. You actually have to stop and do that. It's something you definitely need to practice. One of the many, many reasons that you're going to use your training room. So let's talk about the first lesson we ever did about training, and I'm going to go this in a different direction, if we will. You notice we're in this funky blue room, and you're asking yourself, what the heck is up with this funky blue room with these lines and these squares and everything?
I'm hitting you crashing with this.
This game is different.
Okay.
Also, King's hitbox is bigger than Kazuya's.
Okay.
But Dave, here's the thing I wanted to get with. Do that. Start doing that kick again. Come here. Come to very center screen. Right there, that center line. Now, Ryu's toes are touching this line, and I'm going to tell you right now, the crazy like that training room in Street Fighter 4, this training room, what's up with these crazy grids? Why would they do that? That's like, what's up with that? We're talking about distances right now. When you're practicing moves, it's like we said, it's important to know the spacing. Know what your longest ranging normals are. See that right there? So we're approximately 2 squares away. I'm pressing, I'm pressing all of my buttons to see which one's the farthest. Now my standing medium kick, that'll hit 2 squares away. My standing heavy kick, that'll definitely, that'll almost reach 3 squares away, like 2.5 squares. My standing heavy chop though, that's really short. My crouching heavy chop down, no, that's gonna do it. My sweep doesn't even reach 2. So know where you are in the screen, and these little lines on the floor help me all the time when I'm learning combos and when I'm learning strategies to know where I am, because I want to know where the very edge of my hitbox is on these punches. See that punch, how it moves them? Also, look at your feet. Look at Ryu's feet. All right, I'm 2 squares away. Hit that sternum punch. Boom! Look at where he is now. It advances him. So you got to know like if these moves advance you. So I'm gonna do a sweep, and look where I am now. My sweep advances me a whole little square, and then it puts me within kick in the face range. So kick me in the face, try to kick me in the face from there. Nope. Now kicking. Boom. It's important to know which normals and specials move you forward. Like that one, that moves me forward, but it's got great range.
A lot of really talented players will know the ranges for all of the primary characters that people play as.
Yeah.
So they're gonna know they don't need to block at that range. If King is out there and he's doing that low kick, I can just kind of dance outside that range. I don't need to block.
And as soon as I do this kick, you can kick me back.
Oh, I cannot reach that range with my medium kick.
I'm a tall dude, but check this out. Look at this weak kick. You'd think, oh, why should I even check these things? You know, you could just see. You can see where these moves are
going,
right? Oh,
you see that right there?
Like, yeah. It's a counter poke.
Like, you go ahead and you use your chop right there. Doesn't hit me, but if I throw my kick out, I move forward slightly.
Boom.
Just like that. He kind of like reached over and chopped me in the face. Ric Flair chop.
And I definitely want to make a point about this. You'd think that you could just look at your character and you can kind of see, okay, that's kind of short. That's kind of a little longer. No, dog. I want you to see something. Remember, Street Fighter's a game about hitboxes. Watch Ryu's left foot. You'd think that little kick would be able to hit it. It sure doesn't. That's going to hit it. But that, you're like, oh, but I hit him. And no. You have to check the ranges because, especially with characters like Hugo, who's a huge character but with super long limbs, sometimes you'll see, their fingertips. Like this guy's fingertips are just barely going to raise Ryu's shoulder and he gets a full